Namaste, welcome to Namaste Poon. So in today's video, we will be expanding on our previous topic on the PPU. And this time around, I'm going to use my company as an example on how we have good governance to ensure that we have a solid PPU. And alongside the solid PPU, right, I'm also going to share about some of those details and those challenges in making sure that your PPU can still go up while at the same time, right, you're dealing with more resources that you need, more service that you need, more quality that you need. Because remember, the more quality there is, the more service there is always more overheads. So that goes in the OPEX portion, but also everything goes also, it goes into the employee count and all this. So let's get started. At Butler, one of our key goals and our key values and our key mission is that we want to be world-class. So world-class in everything we do. That means world-class in service, world-class in service excellence, world-class in quality, right? World-class in reliability, world-class in sustainability. And we talk about sustainability, that's the green side, right? And also the dollar bill green side. So both side of sustainability needs to be sound and needs to test the time. So one of our goals at Butler, which I made it very clear with every single one of my employees, is that the Butler goal is that we want to contribute to the treasure chest of Butler so that Butler can last 100 years or more. As simple as that. Our job is to contribute more to the treasure chest every single month than what we take out from the treasure chest every single month, and we have a perpetual business. As simple as that. And it will outlast me, it will outlast all my employees, and this can go on to do good for the rest of time, for as long as it can run, right? And that is governance, and that's my job on my level as the founder and CEO, to ensure that the business has continuity, right? And that continuity is not just backed by whoever that's running and calling the shot, but also in a sense the constitution. And the constitution is to ensure that we put in more than what we take out every single month. So that is very, very crucial to the business, the success of the business. But let's talk about how having all these values and all this mission, right, shaped from where we started in 2016 to where it is now. It is very much just a dream at this point of starting. That was 7 years ago. But over the years, this dream has started to materialize and it has gotten better over time. It is still building, but it is getting better and better and better, which is fantastic. So let's talk about PPU, right? Per productivity per unit employee, right? And this is something that, because I run a housekeeping business and my core fundamental genesis department is the housekeeping department, right? That's like at the very top, is like the very beginning of all things. So it is the Butler's Garden of Eden in a sense, right? It is our core fundamental that guided us all these years, right? Ensuring that we always stay tip top, stay efficient, and stay ahead of the market, ahead of the competition, or if not, we don't even consider competition because we want to be original in what we do. And the very core essence of Butler and hospitality is that we believe that modern living is better, can be better, right? And that we, as working adults, we want to free up time and return home happy, enjoy our life, enjoy our lifestyle, elevate our lifestyle. We are having city. we are in city living. So we want to ensure that we really elevate our lifestyle and really can enjoy those things that civilization have brought about. So that's the reason why we went to like Butler Marine, buying a boat, all these things. But we are truly trying to enjoy and trying to really like build on all these lifestyle activities that our customers can eventually come to enjoy through the Butler universe. We call it the Butler universe, the Butler world, because we believe that this is a web of system that eventually our customers can come to enjoy and benefit. So today we have got like 11 I think recently we just added 3 more. That's 14 departments, and it's just growing faster and faster. So let's talk about PPU. So last year we did something very special. We did a 3.5% dividend ROIC, return on investment capital, back to our investors. Those investors have participated at our year 1 and year 2 and year 3 of the business, and that's the least that the business can do. We have not taken on any more funding since then. We are profitable. We are growing. We have grown, as I have just previously mentioned, and we are still growing. So what is PPU? I can very briefly share that for our PPU when we first started. For example, in the venture capital world, maybe I should not use PPU, but I should use that in last time we used this thing called ARPU, average revenue per user, which is very, very commonly used in the VC terminology many years ago, right? During the peak of VC funding, which we didn't really kind of participate. So we are still solid. And of course, I'm also very glad that we actually never participate, because if we were to participate, the business wouldn't be as free as it is today. So it is about that timing, and it is about that choices that are being made and still being made along the way. And I think Butler, we are very lucky that we don't have to make some of those choices that other businesses might have to make, because we have very sound fundamentals, and we actually decided on what we wanted to do very early on, and we stayed that course, stayed true north, right? And we wanted to be the beacon of light to actually shine at this industry and improve this industry, but not just by saying that we are improving it, but actually by action, by investing, by putting dollar bills on the table, right, to say that here's the things that we are putting and doing. So this year we will be talking a lot more about Butler Housekeeping, our Genesis department, how it has grown, and how it actually led to a lot of other things that is happening concurrently. Overall, it's fantastic. So let's get started. ARPU, when we first started back in 2016, I believe our ARPU was somewhere around $300 per user per month. Over the years, it has multiplied. I can tell you today, it has at least multiplied by 3 times. That is at the very least. Of course, I'm being very arbitrage, but I can guarantee you that it has multiplied by at least 3 times. So that's something that I can share, right? But without actually revealing too much. But anywhere from 3, to infinite. So I'll leave you to go and guess about it. But the thing here is that ARPU comes from a very generic. ARPU basically dictates your revenue, correct? But then the thing here is that with the PPU, I believe after doing so many years of the business, I think PPU is actually a little bit more efficient. And that is what we want to do. Like, the Butler business is always about being efficient, bring quality, and get to the point, right? Deliver what the customer wants. For example, we did a 1% GST rebate for Butler Housekeeping Services. If you choose to opt in for our customers, even for new customers as well, like 1% GST rebate, because we know that our customers wants savings, and we want to ensure that our bills reach them the same amount that we reached them in 2023. So we are doing that for 2024. We're doing that for 1 whole year, and we can do it. So that's how I run Butler, because we resonate with our customers, right? And we know that at the end of the day, everyone is paying more GST. So if the company can do something, even if it's 1%, which maybe our customers, is not much to our customers, but it's also from the heart that the Butler business is offering this to our customers. And we try to do it to the best of our ability. And by the customers receiving the same amount in the bill, I hope that shows that heartfelt moment is reciprocated or reached to our customer. So let's go into PPU. So PPU, personally, I find it much better. It is easier because PPU is simply take the revenue divided by the employees that you have. If you are a company, divide it by the whole company. in Butler's case, because we have many departments, which I'm going into detail as well, because in the previous video I talked about department, headcount, and you divide, right? But that is because in Butler we have many departments. So what we do is that we take the whole department, right, plus all the necessary manpower that alongside it, finance, HR, so on and so forth, and then we lump them together and then we divide them, and then we can figure out our PPU. So given that PPU, right, you will be able to figure out that, okay, so your revenue divided by your manpower on the whole department, that's a basic HR number. And then you will find out that, okay, this is your PPU, this is the revenue that is generated averaged across the number of employees that you have per employee in your department. PPU doesn't equate to your overhead, your OPEX costs like office, utilities, training, and technology, which is a very heavy component these days. So the idea here is that when you have all these, of course, your marketing costs, so on and so forth, there's a whole bunch of it. That's why I at the start of my video I mentioned about ensuring quality, right? Ensuring customer service, ensuring reliability. All of these adds on to your OPEX portion, right? So those are things that you need to identify as well. So when you have PPU, it shows the PPU, but then at the same time, you have to measure the OPEX, whether the OPEX is super scaled or is something that is reasonable within that context as well. So for Butler's case, we are pretty much very reasonable. So it actually allows us to be very healthy, correct? But the general idea here is that to add on to the previous video, one has to actually really look at all these numbers and find a fair balance. So once you have your PPU and once you have your OPEX, pretty much you have the full picture. It's as simple as that. So I'll give you a context. For example, a product business, which Butler, we also have a product business called Butler Shop. So what Butler Shop is? Butler Shop, basically we sell boutique products, novelty products such as candles and all these bed sheets, so on and so forth. And for products, how do you calculate PPU? You can't actually calculate PPU by the manpower because that is not actually your heaviest component, right? Your true component is your product plus your manpower, correct? So you can actually figure it out by simply adding product to your number of employee calculation, which for every business is different. For example, if you have inventory and you need to store your inventory, maybe your inventory is worth $50,000, and then add that $50,000 plus your employees divided by your revenue, you figure out the cost, right? But of course, you can also calculate it in another form, which it occurred to me as well while I was talking about this, is that you could simply take the cost price of your product plus your employee, right? That is your cost portion of the PPU. And then your revenue is what you can sell or what you have sold for. So those are very easy. I mean, if you want to predict, of course, it's a little bit more arbitrage, ambiguous. But if you are doing a past historic analysis, those data are there for you already. So I hope that this video helps. And more importantly, end of the day, PPU, I think, is something that I coined it. I'm not too sure what are the other relevant terms for this, but I thought that PPE is slightly easier to understand than ARPU. Like ARPU really just tells you, okay, I'm making this amount of money per sale or per order. But end of the day, someone is doing that sale, someone is doing that order. If it's not someone, it's a platform that is doing that order or that sale for you, right? And fundamentally, it's fulfilled by some form of human activity, unless the whole process is purely tech. But even then, if you're on an AWS server, that AWS server is going to cost you money in terms of EC2 or EC3 instance, right? Unless you're using AWS Lambda, which is a no SQL, no serverless kind of thing, then that's a whole different equation. But basically, the idea here is that with everything that you do, I thought that ARPU sometimes it really confuses a little. So personally, right, when I look at pitch decks or when I ask founders, I want to just ask them, give me the number of PPU. Give me your past 1 year, 2 year PPU for startups, right? Tell me how your PPU is gonna look like, right? Is your PPU gonna be decreasing over the years? Is your PPU gonna be gonna be healthy, unhealthy? Or your PPU plus your OPEX is gonna look horrible? If that's the case, please let me know, right? So your marketing and everything is more obscured. But the general idea here is that please let me know both sides of the equation so that I can understand the full thing. So those are the kind of things that I would ask and I would follow up as a VC or a micro VC to fellow startup. I mean, sometimes PPU, that's the reason, like my response to the person that asks me about PPU, yeah, PPU is the easiest thing that you can come up with. Like, you want to find out about business health. If a service industry is pretty easy, you're providing labor, right? You figure out how much you can generate from that labor based on efficiency. So if the efficiency is low, the generation of revenue is low. If the efficiency is high, the generation of efficiency is high because it's hourly rated usually. So that's how it works. Thank you so much. Have a good day.